Good afternoon, students. So in the previous class, we have discussed in the previous classes about PN junction diode and how the junction is formed. What is a depletion layer? What is a barrier potential? That concept we discussed, and how we can connect the diode in forward bias, reverse bias also completed, and then we have completed the characteristics of the diode in forward bias, voltage current characteristics in forward bias and also in reverse bias. In a previous class we have started rectification. What is meant by rectification? What is a rectifier? And what is a half wave and full wave rectifiers we have to discuss in this class. So rectifier means what? Yesterday we mentioned we have two type of currents generally. One is alternating current and the second one direct current. If both the magnitude and the direction of the current remains constant with the time, that is called a DC or direct current. That is also steady DC. If for example magnitude of the current changes but direction of the current remains the same, then it is called a variable DC. In some of the components or electronic circuits or electrical circuits, they are using DC components like a DC batteries, or some we are using for cell phone charging also we are using a DC we are supplying. But in some of the cases both the magnitude changes, direction of the current also changes with the time, then it is called alternating current. But how the magnitude changes means continuously magnitude changes, but periodically direction changes. For every half of the cycle the direction of the current will be reversed. During if you select one full cycle, during the first half of the cycle, if you will take alternate current is the positive direction, next half of the cycle the direction of the current will be reversed, negative half cycle. So for every half of the cycle the direction of the current is reversed, but the magnitude continuously changes. That is like a sinusoidal curve. Yesterday I mentioned already. In that graph, highest value of the current is called peak value or maximum value of the current. Highest voltage can be called peak voltage or maximum voltage. Correct. And generally we can also find RMS value, the square root of the mean of the squares of all the values of the currents in the given cycle can be called as RMS value. Generally we can take IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2. Generally it is equal to 1 by root 2 times the peak value. Same way VRMS, potential difference, is equal to V naught by root 2. It is also 1 by root 2 times nothing but V naught should take. Now some of the cases we are using AC, like AC dynamo or AC generators, and in case of the thermal power stations the current will be produced. So that is also we are sending in a high tension lines through in the form of AC only. So in a houses we are using AC. So some electrical circuits require AC and some of the cases require DC. But how to convert AC into DC means by using a suitable method we will follow. So that method is called rectification. So the process of converting alternating current into direct current is called as rectification. Such a device can be called rectifier. So an electronic device which converts AC into DC is called a rectifier. Generally which device can act like a rectifier? Diode. Already mentioned diode can act like a rectifier. If you are using only one diode, we can convert 50%, approximately half of the AC cycle into DC. So that is called half wave rectifier. If you are using two diodes, then full of the AC cycle can be converted into DC. That is called a full wave rectifier. Now first we will discuss about what is a half wave rectifier and also what is a circuit diagram. So here how we can write the definition. So the device which converts or an electronic device which converts, or electronic device which converts half of the AC cycle into DC. An electronic device or electronic circuit which converts a half of the AC wave or half of the AC cycle, half of the AC wave into a DC wave. Half of the AC wave into a DC wave is known as a half wave rectifier. So I think I have written the definition. A device or an electronic circuit which converts half of the AC cycle into DC cycle is called as a half wave rectifier. Generally, in case of the half wave rectifier, we are using only one PN junction diode. One PN junction diode or one PN diode only used here. But I'll draw the circuit diagram also. So here one transformer also you have to use. So I'm choosing first one AC source. It is a symbol of the AC source. Should draw like this. And here I am drawing one coil. For wire is should taken, it is a bent in the form of a coil like this. So this left side, whatever you have given, that is the symbol of AC. So AC source. And here it is a coil, primary coil of a transformer. We can write here it is a P. And the right side also will connect one more coil which is called a secondary coil. Like this. To the secondary circuit we have to connect one diode, PN junction diode. It is a symbol of the PN diode. Left side P type semiconductor, right side N type semiconductor, it is a PN junction diode. And this will be connected to one load resistance. It is a resistance which we can take output, that can be taken as RL. So here output can be taken across the load resistance. So it is a D, indicates a diode. S indicates a secondary coil. Both the primary coil and the secondary coil are closely coupled or closely linked. So here I am drawing two lines that indicates the coils are not having a much distance. They are closely coupled like this. So this total can be taken as a transformer. So if you want to give the name as capital T. So it is AC source. AC source. So P indicates a primary coil. Next RL indicates a load resistance. D diode. I'll write here. So T represents an ordinary transformer. It is an ordinary transformer. Next P indicates a primary coil of the transformer. P represents a primary coil. And S represents a secondary coil. And D stands for diode. A PN diode. This stands for PN diode. RL, load resistance. So these are the main apparatus in the given circuit. Check here. What are the main apparatus in the circuit means we should take one AC source is to be selected. So what is the function of the AC source here? Which can give the alternating current. So this AC source is connected to the primary coil of an ordinary transformer. So it is equal, transformer contains two coils. One is the primary coil, one is secondary coil. So here we have connected AC source to the primary coil of the transformer. And in the secondary circuit, the P-type semiconductor of the diode is connected to the upper part of the secondary coil. Say for example, we take A, so it is connected to this one, and the N-type semiconductor of the diode is connected to the lower part of the transformer. So secondary coil of the transformer, say it is a B. So across a load resistance. So always we can send the input through the primary coil of the transformer, and we can take the output through the load resistance. So here we can mention like this. It is output can be taken across this one. So it is equal to V naught. So that V naught indicates output value. But here we are sending input value. It is input AC. We can send here. So input means it is equal to VI we can write. So alternate current we are sending through this coil. Finally we are getting output as DC. And we can draw our graph also here. I'll draw the graph, this one. So it is either a voltage or current or taken on y-axis. So here either time or phase means a pi angle will be taken on x-axis. So we can draw the nature of the graph will be like this. So this one. So it is alternating current. For every half of the cycle, the direction of the current will be reversed, but the magnitude of the current continuously changes. So you can take during the first half of the cycle, it is a plus. Next half of the cycle, minus. Again next half of the cycle, plus, minus, again a plus, and also you should write minus. So it is input AC. So but our aim is to convert this AC into DC. So this can be called as input alternating current AC. Now I will draw the graph for output DC. Here also either voltage or current, V or I will be taken on y-axis. And same way either time or phase angle will be taken on x-axis. So here we have to check how the current will be changed. AC will be converted into DC, we have to check. So just I am giving this a dotted line. After a discussion of the diagram, we will complete this graph, second part. So that is, it is called output DC. Output DC, and above graph represents input AC. Now check here, after completion of this total circuit diagram, first we have to switch on this AC source. Whenever AC source is switched on, so the alternating current will be supplied to the primary coil of the transformer. So whenever current is passing through the coil, primary coil of the transformer, a magnetic field is established around the coil. As secondary coil is closely linked or coupled to the primary coil, so this magnetic field will be also linked to the secondary coil like this. So because the primary and secondary coils of the transformer are very closely coupled, that's why because of the flow of current through the primary coil, a magnetic field and also magnetic flux is established around the primary coil. Since the secondary coil is very closely linked, so some field also linked with secondary coil. Now, so whenever the alternating current magnitude continuously changes, then what will be happen? The magnitude of the magnetic field also changes. The magnetic flux or magnetic lines of force linked with the coil also changes. Whenever this magnetic flux changes, according to Faraday's law, some induced EMF or induced current is developed in the secondary coil. But this induced EMF or current will change for every half of the cycle. For example, during a first positive half cycle, what will be happen? During a positive half cycle, what will be happen? We'll check here. During a first positive half cycle, what will be happened? So first half cycle means we are sending only, so this part of the graph, first half of the cycle, we are sending through the primary coil. As the magnitude of the current is increasing, the magnetic flux or field linked with the coil also increases. So this increase in magnetic field or flux can produce some induced EMF or induced current. So during the first half cycle, the upper part of the secondary coil we can take positive terminal, act like it. At the same time, lower part of the secondary coil will act like a negative terminal. Now check here. P-type semiconductor of the diode connected to positive terminal, N-type semiconductor of the diode connected to negative terminal, so that how the diode will behave, forward bias. So during the first half of the cycle, the PN junction diode act like forward bias. So diode acts as forward bias. So in case of the forward bias, what will be happen? Already we discussed in the previous classes. Both electrons and holes are moving towards a junction. They will compress the junction, and automatically thickness of the depletion layer, barrier potential, and also resistance of the circuit decreases, and then current will flowing through the circuit. So the diode acts as a forward bias, and it conducts, or it allows the current to flow through it. It conducts. Whenever current is flowing through diode, then we'll get the current here like this. So during a first positive half cycle, we got the output in this way, like this. So first half of the cycle completed. Again, next half cycle, what will be happen? During a negative half cycle, the direction of the current will be reversed, and automatically magnitude of the current also changes. Whenever magnitude of the current changes, again the magnetic flux or field linked with the secondary coil also changes. So this change in magnetic flux again can produce induced EMF or induced current. So hence during the second half of the cycle, the upper part of the secondary coil will act like negative terminal because of the change of the direction. So here symbols also will be changed, and the lower part of the secondary coil B will act like a positive terminal. Now check how the diode will behave. P-type semiconductor of the diode connected to negative terminal, N-type semiconductor is connected to the positive terminal, hence diode behaves as reverse bias. In case of the reverse bias, both electrons and holes are moving away from the junction. So thickness of the depletion layer increases, barrier potential increases, and the resistance of the circuit also increases, or diode also increases. So almost no current flowing through the diode. If it is ideal, no current passing through the diode. So we should take next half cycle, there will be no flow of current. So it is absent. So here I'll write during a negative half cycle. During a negative half cycle, diode acts as a reverse bias. So it doesn't allow any current, or it doesn't conduct, or it do not conduct any current. So this signal will be absent, no current passing through the circuit. Again next half cycle, what will be happen? Again it will be changes. So upper half of the cycle become positive terminal, lower half of the cycle become negative terminal, and the diode behaves as forward bias, and it allows the current to flow through it. So we'll get again the signal like this. Again next half of the cycle, so this will be happen. So upper part of the diode secondary coil become negative terminal, lower half of the part become positive terminal. Again diode acted as reverse bias, and no current passing through circuit. Again next half cycle, reverse bias. So here it is a forward, it is a reverse. Again next one, forward. So in this way, what will be happen? Only during the positive half cycles, diode behaves as forward bias. It allows the current to flow through it. During a negative half cycles, diode behaves as reverse bias. It doesn't allow any current to flowing through it. So here whatever the missing cycles are there, so in that case the diode behaves as reverse bias. Whenever the signal present in the output value, the diode acted as forward bias. In this way, if you are sending a full cycle of the AC, but we are getting only half of the AC DC, that's why the device can be called as a half wave rectifier. That you should write in exam also. That is one of the important 5 marks question. Once again, I'll repeat. So draw the diagram carefully, and we should draw the arrow marks also like this. Direction of the flow of current we should draw like this. It is the direction of flow of current. may draw like this. That's important. Direction of flow of current also very important. And these are two graphs also important. Both the graphs you have to draw. If a graphs missed in exam means 1 mark will be deducted. So compulsory. So circuit diagram with both input and output waveforms also we have to draw in exam. Once again check. A device which converts half of the AC wave into a DC wave can be called as a half wave rectifier. So generally in the case of the half wave rectifier, we are using only one PN junction diode. So the circuit diagram is as shown in the figure. So here it contains two parts. One is the primary circuit and one is secondary circuit. In the primary circuit, what you have connected? One AC source is connected to the primary coil of the transformer. What type of transformer we are using? Ordinary transformer. Now in the secondary coil, one PN junction diode, secondary circuit, and one load resistance and also secondary coil of the transformer are connected as shown in the figure. Generally, input can be passed through the primary coil of the transformer and output can be collected through the load resistance. Always input is AC and output is DC. Now, first we have to switch on this AC source and also current is allowed to pass through the primary coil of the transformer. So during a first positive half cycle, here the current flowing through the primary coil magnitude will be changes. So due to the change of the magnitude, the magnetic field and also magnetic flux is linked around the coil. So because of the change of the magnitude of the current, the magnitude of the magnetic flux also changes. According to Faraday, the change in magnetic flux can produce induced EMF or induced current in the circuit. So here generally in this induced EMF or circuit, what will be happen? Every half of the cycle the direction will be changed. So during the first half of the cycle, the upper part of the secondary coil becomes a positive terminal, lower part of the secondary coil become negative terminal. Now the diode behaves as forward bias, hence it allows the current to flow through it. That's why we got the signal here. During a negative half cycle, what will be happen? The direction of the current reversed. Again, the induced EMF also reversed, and hence upper part become negative terminal, lower part become positive terminal. Hence the diode behaves as a reverse bias. So in case of the reverse bias condition, no current flowing through the diode, hence the signal will be absent. Again next half cycles also same thing will be repeated again and again. So the process will be continuous. And check here what will be happened finally. During a positive half cycles of AC, diode behaves as a forward or a forward bias and it allows the current. During a negative half cycles of AC, diode behaves as the reverse bias and no current passing through the circuit. Hence, half of the AC can be converted into a DC. So actually we are saying half means not 50% also, approximately 40.6% of AC can be converted into DC actually. But roughly we can say half of the AC nearly converted into DC. That's why it is called as a half wave rectifier. That's important. One more important you have to remember here. So in case of the half wave rectifier, when we are giving a AC having some frequency is equal, for example, F, frequency of input AC is equal, for example, F. It is nothing but a frequency of input AC. So frequency of the input AC is equal to F or n hertz, maybe 50 hertz. But here in case of the ripples, whatever we got in output also, its frequency will be same. So it is nothing but frequency of input AC is equal to F means the frequency of the output DC also same, or output cycle also will be same. So input AC and output ripples whatever contained, both are having same frequency. Sometimes theory question important. For example, I am applying a 50 hertz frequency to the AC cycle. 50 hertz AC cycle frequency is applied to the input or primary coil of the transformer. And what is the frequency of the output ripples may be asked. That is also equal to F. That is equal to 50 hertz. So there will be no change, no decreasing or no increasing. Same we should take. But here efficiency will be, if you want to calculate, there is a formula I'll give here. efficiency of half wave rectifier. Efficiency of half wave rectifier. General formula for efficiency, output by input you should take. General formula, efficiency is equal to the ratio of output to DC power to the ratio of the output to DC power to the input AC power. Or simply we can write the ratio of output DC to the input DC is also called as nothing but a half efficiency of the rectifier, or DC power to AC power. So percentage if you want to take means into 100 you should write. And I'll calculate here or I'll write the formula. Eta is equal to nothing but P naught by Pi into 100% you should write. Where P naught is equal what? Output power divided by Pi is equal what? Input power. But we have one formula for power. You should write. Power is equal to general formula work done by time. So we know general formula power is equal to energy by time or work done by time. In electricity branch, work done formula. So generally potential difference one concept is that the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to other point can be called as potential difference. V is equal to W by Q, or W is equal to V into Q. So we can write the formula potential difference into charge divided by time. So it is a formula for work done, where V is equal to potential difference, Q is equal to charge of the given charged particle, T is equal to time. But we know one more formula, charge by time is equal to what? The rate of flow of charge is called electric current. So you should write is equal to V into I, because Q by T I am writing a I. Charge by time is equal to current, nothing but. So P is equal to one formula we can write V into I, one formula, or one more formula also we can write still, that is equal to V into, according to Ohm's law, I is equal to what? V is equal to IR. According to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, or I is equal to formula V by R we can write. So in the place of the I we can write V by R. So V into V by R means it is equal to V square by R we can write. Or one more formula that is equal to here V same only, but I is equal to V by R. We got V square by R, but V place I am writing IR. So in place of the V, if I write IR means it is equal to IR into I is equal to I square R should write. So these are various formulae for the power, correct. But here if you electric current chapter completed, all these are basics and easy to learn. Now I'll write eta is equal to output power means what you should write, that is equal to VI formula I am taking, V naught into I naught, where V naught is equal to output to DC, or we can also write a V naught place, we write a VDC into it is equal to IDC divided by it is equal to VAC into it is equal to IAC should write. Or if you want to write only letters, simple letters means it is equal to V naught into I naught by it is equal to VI into that is equal to I should write. So that I indicates what? Input value into 100% same you should write. By simplification, by writing a values, and if you simplify, we'll get the formula eta is equal to 0.406 into load resistance RL divided by RL plus RF into 100%. But all these concepts in textbook also not there, in syllabus also not there. Only for competitive exams we can use this formula. So in the previous whatever I have discussed, circuit diagram and also explanation part and also two waveforms, input and output waveforms, enough. But for only competitive exams you can use this formula. So efficiency is equal to 0.406 into load resistance, here RL given, divided by load resistance RL plus resistance of the diode in forward bias, so RF, into 100 you should write. For example, if the given diode is ideal, so for ideal diode means resistance in a forward bias is called 0. If a resistance equal 0 means only should write 0.406 into RL by RL. RF equal 0 should write. But RL cancelled. 0.406 into 100. Then what you should write? Eta is equal to 40.6%. So if you are giving 100% of the AC to the circuit, how much we got? 40.6%. For example, if the diode having a more resistance, then what will be happened? For example, if the diode is having infinite resistance, then RL plus infinity is equal to infinity. So something by infinity is equal to 0. So we will not get any output value. For example, if RL and RF both are equal, then you should write this value as 2RL. When RL cancelled, 0.406 into 100 by 2. 40.6 by 2 equal to 20.3%. So based on the question, we have to choose. But it is one of the important formula. Efficiency of a rectifier, one important formula. Remember this one carefully. Now we'll go for next one, full wave rectifier. But after completion of this one, in next class I'll compare both by giving all this formula again, like a box type. One side half wave rectifier, one side I'll give full wave rectifier, and all the formula also I'll cover there only. Now we'll go for next one, full wave rectifier. Put the heading, full wave rectifier. Full wave rectifier. And draw this circuit diagram. But here, why it is called full wave rectifier means in the name only we have mentioned. Full of the AC wave can be converted into a DC. If you are giving a full cycle of alternating current to the primary circuit of the full wave rectifier, so we can get full of the DC. That's why it is called a full wave rectifier. I write the definition as a device or an electronic device which converts full of the AC into electronic circuit which converts full of the AC wave or full of the AC cycle into DC. An electronic circuit which converts full of the AC cycle into DC cycle is known as a full wave rectifier. An electronic circuit which or electronic device which converts full of the AC wave or full of the AC cycle into DC is known as a full wave rectifier. In a full wave rectifier, how many diodes we are using? 2 diodes. One is a D1. So in a full wave rectifier, 2 diodes are used. I'll draw the 2 diodes here and circuit diagram. You should draw the diagram like this. There are 2 diodes. One is a D1, second is a D2. So left side P type, right side N type. Here also P type semiconductor and also N type semiconductor. Both N type semiconductors of the diode are connected like this. Both will be connected to each other. And both being connected to one load resistance. I'll connect here one load resistance also. And this will be generally connected to the center trapped like this, means connected to the ground. And here or we can without this one also, we'll leave this one. Here it will be connected to the center of the secondary coil. It is a load resistance RL. So it is a earth connection. Should take ground connection or earth connection. That's only. It is equal load resistance. So through the load resistance we can take output value. So I'll draw the arrow marks also like this. Here also we should take arrow marks in this way. Like this. And also we should draw the input and output waveforms. I'll write here input and output waveform. It is an input AC. For every half of the cycle, the direction of the current will be reversed, but the magnitude continuously changes. So like this, it is the first half of the cycle positive, negative, again positive, negative, again positive and negative, like this. Either time or phase angle can be taken. Either a voltage or current will be taken on y-axis. So this can be called input AC. Input AC, alternating current. Same way, I'll draw here a output DC. So this will be time. Here either voltage or current will be taken on y-axis. Either V or I. Now here first half of the cycle. Again next half of the cycle should go like this. Dotted line I am indicating first half of the cycle, next half of the cycle. And then we have to check how the current will be flowing. That's only, it is called output DC, direct current. So these two graphs also important, but second graph is still not completed. So after explanation or while explanation, I'll complete the graph. Now check here. So full wave rectifier means a device which converts full of the AC cycle into a DC is called a full wave rectifier. So here also it is a T indicates a transformer, and here what type of transformer means we are using a special transformer here, that is called center tap transformer. T represents center tap transformer. So why we have to use this transformer means, so during the first half of the cycle, if the upper first diode is a forward biased, then it has to maintain the second diode as a reverse biased. During the next half cycle, if a second diode is a forward biased, then first diode should act like a reverse biased. So this function can be done by the special transformer, which is called a center tap transformer. If you are not using a center tap transformer, we have to use total 4 diodes. All we have to connect in the form of like a bridge, in the form of a Wheatstone bridge or Wheatstone network. So instead of using 4 diodes, we can use only one center tap transformer. That is the purpose of the center tap transformer. Now check here. Here the circuit diagram for a full wave rectifier is as shown in the figure. Generally it contains 2 parts here also. The left part can be called as a primary circuit, right part can be called as a secondary circuit. So primary circuit contains one AC source. So this AC source is connected to the primary coil of the center tap transformer. Now in the secondary coil there are 2 diodes. One is a diode D1, second is a diode D2. So both the p-type semiconductors of the diodes are connected to the secondary coil of the transformer. Check here. So P side connected to the secondary coil. Here also P side connected to the secondary coil. Now both the N sides of the diodes are connected each other and also being connected to the load resistance. But this load resistance is connected to the center of the secondary coil, which is called a center tapped, nothing but. And this will be connected to the ground. Any excess electrons are there, so that will be sent to the ground. Earth connection, that is simply earth connection, you should write. So here also always input can be passed through the primary coil of the transformer and output can be taken through the load resistance. So input is passed through primary coil and output can be taken through the load resistance. Here we can take V0. So this will be nothing but V0. So you can draw like this. That is a V0. Now how it will work, we have to check. Here also during the first half of the cycle what happened, and again during the next half cycle what happened, we have to check. So I'll check during the first half cycle. During the first half cycle, what will be happen? Similarly, during the next half cycle, what will be happen? Now, after switch on this AC source, current AC is supplied to the primary coil of the transformer. Whenever current is passed through primary coil of the transformer, what will be happen? Some magnetic field is developed across the primary coil. But secondary coil is very closely linked to the primary coil. That's why the same magnetic field also linked to the secondary coil. As the direct magnitude of the current changes, the magnetic field or magnetic flux linked with the coils also changes. So because of the change of the magnetic flux, what will be happen? According to Faraday, some induced current or induced EMF is developed in the coil. But here this induced EMF direction will be changes for every half of the cycle. So because of the AC also direction changes. Now, during a first half cycle, I'll take here diode D1 and diode D2. How D1 act like and how D2 act like. Now check here. During the first half cycle of the AC, the P side, the P-type semiconductor of the first diode will be connected to the upper part of the primary coil, secondary coil act like positive terminal. At the same time, the N-type semiconductor through the load resistance will appears to be connected to the negative terminal of the secondary coil like this. So here plus, here minus. Now how the diode act like? Forward bias. So during a first half cycle, diode D1 acted as forward bias. So in a forward bias, what is the condition? Both electrons and holes in the diode are moving towards the junction. Thickness of the depletion layer decreases, barrier potential decreases, and resistance also decreases, but current flows in the circuit. So the diode conducts. It conducts or it allows the current to flow through it. At the same time, what about the second second diode? Now check here. P-type semiconductor of the second diode will be connected to lower part is equal to negative terminal. Here upper part plus means lower part become minus. Here middle secondary coil center point. Upper part minus means lower part become plus. So check here. P-type semiconductor of the second diode connected to negative terminal and N-type semiconductor connected to the positive terminal. So it act like reverse bias. So during a first half cycle, the second diode act like reverse bias. In reverse bias, what will be happen? Both electrons and holes in the diode, which are called majority charge carriers, are moving away from the junction. So thickness of the layer increases, barrier potential increases, and also the resistance of the diode increases. Hence, no current flowing through circuit. So it doesn't allow any current or it do not conduct. The second diode do not allow or do not conduct any current. So only because of the first diode we got the output signal like this. It is only because of D1. So during a first positive half cycle of the AC, only diode D1 acted as a forward bias. It allows the current. At the time D2 acted as a reverse bias. It stops the current. Hence we got only, but we got the output only because of the first diode. That is the first half cycle. During a negative half cycle, what will be happen? We have to check. Check here. During a negative half cycle, what will be happen? The direction of the current AC will be reversed during negative half cycle. During a negative half cycle, what happens to D1 and what happens to D2? We have to check. During a negative half cycle, the direction of this AC will be reversed. So automatically the magnetic flux direction also changes and induced EMF also will be reversed. So upper part becomes a negative terminal, this lower part becomes a positive terminal, and because of the center trap transformer, this upper become plus, this lower part become minus. Now check here. Here P side of the P-type semiconductor of the first diode connected to negative terminal, N side connected to positive terminal. So the diode D1 act like a reverse bias. So it act like a reverse bias means it do not conduct any current. It doesn't allow any current to flow through it. At the time, what about second diode? P-type semiconductor of the second diode connected to positive terminal, N side connected to the negative terminal. It act like reverse forward bias. So in a forward bias, current flows through the circuit. So it conducts or it allows the current to flow through it. Now check here. In the second half cycle also, but the second diode is allowing the current. That's why we got the signal outside. So it is because of D2. Now check here. One full cycle if you select, in case of the AC, first half cycle is converted into DC. Second half cycle also converted into DC. So full of the AC cycle is converted into DC. Na? That's why it is called a full wave rectifier. Again, next half cycle, what will be happen? D1 will allow the current. Next half cycle, next negative half cycle, D2 will allow the current. Again, next half cycle, D1 will allow the current. Next half cycle, D2 will allow the current. In this way, full of the AC is converted into DC. But in case of the half wave rectifier, during a negative half cycle, so no current passes. But here not like that. During a positive half cycle, during a negative half cycle, the current will be, AC will be converted into DC. Hence, full of the AC converted into DC. That's why the device is called as a full wave rectifier. That you should write. And what about the efficiency of the rectifier formula? Here also will write efficiency of the rectifier formula eta. Efficiency of the rectifier is equal to, already I have given, output power by input power into 100%. On simplification, you get this value 0.812 into load resistance RL by RL plus RF into 100%. It is a formula we have to use. So comparing the previous formula here, there will be double the value. In a full wave rectifier, here it is equal, RL indicates load resistance, RF is equal to resistance of the diode in forward bias, and eta is equal to efficiency. For example, if the diode is ideal, it doesn't allow any current to flow through it, then what will be happen? We can neglect this RF value. By neglecting RF value, RL get cancelled. Then only should write 0.812 into 100. Therefore, eta is equal to 81.2%, but not 100% also. If you are giving 100% of the AC, how much you are converting? 81.2% of the AC can be converted into DC. So almost we are taking, but remaining 19%, what will be happen? Approximately 19% contains both ripples, AC and also DC. So in case of the half wave rectifier or full wave rectifier, whatever the output we are getting, it is not a pure DC. It is not 100% DC. It is only mixture of AC, ripples and also DC. That's why it is called pulsated or fluctuated DC. So it is also one mark important, pulsated DC or fluctuated DC. Fluctuated DC. So pulsated or fluctuated means the output DC contains some of the AC ripples. So if you want to convert this AC ripples also into DC, what we have to do? We have to use a filter circuit which contain a capacitor and also inductor. So that is about half wave rectifier and also a full wave rectifier. In next class, I'll discuss the comparison, how to compare both half wave rectifier and also full wave rectifier, and I'll give some important formula for NEET or JEE purpose also. Thank you.